Alright folks, so talking about some of the components. This one here is called a radiator. It is mounted to the front of our vehicle. We've talked about it before. We have our upper rad hose is going to go up there, upper radiator hose, and then we have a lower radiator hose. So these tubes are coming from the engine, feeding either into the rad or going into the engine itself. Like I mentioned before, these are all the little tiny fins that help cool them. They're actually on an angle, which helps deflect air going over top of our hot coolant, helping to cool down the coolant, therefore helping to cool down our engine. This guy right up here, which where I'd have a pressure cap. So the pressure cap actually helps lower something called a boiling point. So if I increase pressure, it makes the coolant boil at a much higher temperature. Ultimately, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. We want to make sure that it doesn't boil until a lot hotter. Boiled coolant will not have any cooling properties, so therefore my engine will overheat. So on top of my radiator, I'll have something like this guy right here, which is called a pressure cap. It will actually tell you, of course, do not open it very hot. What's going to happen is if you open it hot, the pressure is reduced and now it will become boiled coolant. If it's boiled coolant, the steam's going to come out, and I've seen people melt skin from opening these things when they're too hot. On the inside, we basically have a spring, and obviously this is broken here, but this is a seal. So spring pressure pushes down, locks it in place, and keeps an airtight seal. If you release that pressure or release it, what's going to happen is my pressure's not getting built, and therefore my coolant could boil. On top of the cap, it can actually give you a range. So often it will tell you how much pressure it will work at. So similar to like this one, another style here, this says 16 pounds, telling you that it'll put 16 pounds of pressure on the system itself, helping to reduce or increase, reducing the boiling point for that type of vehicle. The numbers change or the pressure changes, so make sure you're replacing the cap with the correct one.